How have you seen that division work for you guys?
You know, when Coach Harbaugh and I talked a long time ago, and then when I met Coach Drevno, you know, I'm whatever helps us win, I'm 100% in. And so, you know, my history has obviously leaned towards offensive line play. So if I can help Coach Drevno and free him up, or help Coach Hamilton in some way, I'm going to do it. But really, we're just a really good, close group of offensive coaches working together, and no egos, and it's been awesome.
How's that battle at right tackle shaping up so far?
You know, as far as those things go, we're just right now the focus is on us, and it's on developing each kid and correcting things. Everybody's doing really good things, and everybody's doing some things that you want to do better. And so, you know, this point in camp, really, you know, legs are tired, guys are fighting, and so it's a situation where you're really trying to bring the stress level up and individually correct and develop. And as we get through camp, I think, you know, separation occurs, and it goes from there. So it's a little too early to tell right now.
Correct. Jim was saying that the offensive line was having nobody can block Mo Hurst. I guess Rashawn Garrett, you know, Rashawn's been pretty good. Two of those guys, I mean,
wait. Rashawn's been very good.
They're both at elite level, I guess. Is it a cause of concern for you and the offensive line, or do you kind of, you know, look at the level of competition?
I don't have to play them this year. This year I'm on the team with them, so I'm watching them. No, you know, the old saying, iron sharpens iron. You know, when you've got guys and they're coming in and you're trying to prepare them to play, who you practice against plays a big part of that. And while you can't go every single snap every single day against, you know, Rashawn or Mo, but what does happen is it becomes competitive. And so when it becomes competitive, it brings the level of play up for guys. You know, Mason Cole may not need that. He's a 4-year starter. We've seen him in a lot of game reps. But when you take guys that maybe haven't, being able to get in there and compete against game level intensity reps helps. And those two guys are unbelievable. And Coach Madison and the whole D-line are unbelievable. So it's you know, we love it, and going against them, and you know, we win some, we lose some. But the biggest thing is we're stressing ourselves to become a more cohesive unit.
Is it a kind of scenario where you would almost rather, you know, have them take lumps against guys like Rashawn and Mo in preparation rather than maybe learn that later in the season?
Well, yeah, you know, when you're talking Michigan, I mean, when you're talking, you know, Michigan practices, and you're talking about Michigan D linemen and Don Brown defenses, it's a stress situation. And so you got to think. You got to be powerful. You got to be strong. You got to react. You got to pick up stunts. You got to pick up blitzes. You got to see safety rotations. There's like a million things to do in order to be successful against them. So, in order to see what these guys are capable of, without actually being in the game and saying, "Uh-oh, I wish we would have done that," you know, we're seeing a lot of things right now that allow us to develop the knowledge bank of some players that maybe don't have, you know, 13, 14 starts under their belt. And so, yeah, so it's a great thing. It's an unbelievable thing. And then you get your pass rushes against, you know, the Rashawns and you know, Mo Hurst, who I've watched the last 3 years, you know, I think is incredible, and he's an incredible person. And so, yeah, it helps. I think it helps speed the development of maybe, you know, some younger guys and some guys that haven't been in as big of games.
Got a few guys, at least a few guys that are moving around to different spots on the line. Do you think, in general, offensive linemen are being asked or being more versatile than they've been in the past?
Oh, I'm not sure. I mean, I don't know how last year was handling those things, but
not just here, but in general.
Oh yeah, you know, I don't know. We've always, you know, developed guys in a way. You know, you like to think the system is conducive for a guy to be able to play multiple positions. You know, and if they have any aspirations of playing in the NFL, they better be able to play in multiple positions. You know, most of the time you get one guy that maybe, you know, Taylor Lewan, who is a left tackle. You know, but other than that, you know, the other 7 guys on the travel team better be able to play, you know, a lot of different things. So the more they can do, the better it is in general. So, you know, really, you'd like to have a 2 deep. You'd like to have a 3 deep ready to play, and not have to worry about it, and just create great, you know, competition.
Do you find more guys are capable of doing that these days?
I don't know. I mean, I guess it really depends on the guy. I'd say more so than anything, you know. But yeah, I would say yeah. You know, I don't know, because when I first started playing, I got, you know, we played tight and split, so I had to learn right and left and, you know, all kinds of different things. So I don't know, it's just different. You know, it's a little different system. But I think it really depends on the player individually.
What have you seen from Chuck Filiaga and here we're going?
Oh, Chuck's awesome. He's winning some, he's losing some, but he's a great person, and that's and he's trying really hard. And so those are really the judgment characteristics right now. Is he's fighting, he's competing. He's taking some lumps, he's giving some lumps, and so we'll see if we can harness it and keep him rolling.
What have you seen from some of the younger tight ends, Sean McEwen and Nick Eubanks?
Oh, they're doing great. You know, like I said, at this point, and again, the stress being that, you know, our defense is very good. They're coached very well. They're, you know, very talented, and even I know that, you know, they're replacing some guys over there and doing some things, but it's been really good battles. Watching, you know, Sean McEwen develop, you know, in his run blocking and pass catching and, you know, just running routes. You know, TJ, you know, doing an awesome job. The five tight ends are doing outstanding, and each of them in their own role, own way, are really providing something for the offense. And so that's really been good to see. And they're doing it against a high-level, talented defense. And so it's been good. They've been really good. Nick Eubanks is a, you know, fun kid to coach. A great personality.
With the offensive line, given that they have to work as a group like that, is there an emphasis on getting the top five finished and decided on a little bit more quickly?
Well, you know, one thing that I've learned, and I've seen, and this is just my personal opinion, I know, you know, everybody will have their own. If you were to promise me that the next 13 weeks everybody was going to stay healthy, I'd say absolutely. But however, in a contact sport, a violent sport, you don't know when somebody's going to get hurt. You don't know when you're going to have to replace somebody. And so it's really not about five guys getting ready. It's about getting a group of guys ready. So you'd like to walk in with, like I said, a 3 deep where everybody's awesome, but that's, you know, it's unrealistic. Really, if you can get into it with 8, 9 guys that are game ready, that are ready to play at the level and the effort and the strain level that Coach Harbaugh wants, then you're sitting pretty good. And so that's what we're focusing on. You know, like I said, you're going to get injuries. This is football. We understand that. You know, we learned it the hard way last year, you know, when Jake got hurt and some of those things. So, you know, you're sitting there, that's going to happen. You got to develop more than 1, more than 2, you know, in some cases more than 3.
When you first came in, what were your thoughts when you first got a look on film of Juwan Bushell-Beatty and John Runyon, and how, now that you've been able to see them actually on the practice field and up close and personal, how have they met those expectations or maybe even exceeded them?
Oh, they're doing excellent, you know, and so with both of them, you know, I didn't really go back and study a whole lot. You know, I watched, but I didn't study a whole lot because, you know, as we go forward each year, each game, each day, each play is different. And so it's really a mentality of attacking, you know, their weaknesses and continuing their strengths. And that's what we're focusing on. And so while, you know, you take John Runyon, very fluid, good athlete, you know, probably one of the better athletes on the offensive line, and trying to harness his strengths into where he helps us win. And then you take, you know, Bushell-Beatty, who's a big, you know, monstrous guy and you know, cares a lot and has a, you know, pushing through and doing some good things. And so you're trying to really put them in a position where they can be the best player they can be. And so what's stuck out most on those guys is their enthusiasm to learn and just that willingness to attack and constructive criticism and respond. And on both of those guys, it's been really, really fun to watch.
So you didn't come in with any necessarily expectations or maybe preconceived notions of them?
No, absolutely not. No, it's, you know, players react differently to different coaches, different people, different situations. And I think our job is to help this offense this year. And so you find that way, you know, to develop and bring them along, to put them in situations where they can use their talents to help Michigan win.
How have you known Mason? You knew him from...
Oh, I think, I don't know, you got to confirm this, but I might have been his first offer. So we're from the same hometown. Actually, my dad lives in Oldsmar, which is Eastlake. Now his parents, you know, just moved out of there, but where he went to high school, Eastlake High School, very close to where I grew up in Clearwater High. So, you know, it's I've had the privilege of watching him develop as a young man and just as a person, and he told me no. sort of pissed me off. So I joined him. So no, that's what I told him. Yeah.
Having seen him from that young age to now, I mean, did you see him evolving into the kind of leader that he's?
Yeah, he was special in high school. You know, they had a great team down there. Coach Hudson and Eastlake does a wonderful job, and you know he was a leader there. And when you went and watched him practice, there was something different. You know, they call it the it factor, or whatever. He had it, and he has it, and so it's a situation where, you know, I think maybe a sophomore year, spring of a sophomore year, is the first time I saw him, which would have been 7 years ago. So it's, you know, it's a situation where watching him develop and watching him grow, just as a man, just as a person, has been really neat. You know, and now intimately involved in sitting in the same room, and traveling in the same buses, it's even funner.
Do you remind him often that he told you no?
We talk about it every once in a while, you know, and you know, but he's, you know, really, you know, he's from my hometown. I'm a big fan of anybody from my hometown, and I want to see it. We can only take certain amount of guys. We can sign 25 a year, and so wherever we are, you know, it's a situation where you want to see kids that you develop a liking to and a bond to, even after the game when we would play them. I talk to them, you know, and hey man, great job. I'm watching you on film. You're doing awesome. You know, if I can do anything to help you, let me know. I mean, I'm a big fan of just guys and taking opportunity to chase their dreams. And Mason was doing that, whether I was here or not. He's been doing a great job of it. Just being able to be a part of it now makes it special.
And how much more do you like him to tackle?
You know, whatever. You know, whatever helps us win, and that's our thing. So you know, if that helps us win, I love it. If him being a center helps us win, I love that even more. You know, so it's whatever helps us, you know, score points and win games. That's what we're looking for, and you know, on the offensive side. And so, you know, and I think if you ask Mason, he'd play wide receiver if he you know, thought it would help us win. So it's a situation where whatever puts us in the best opportunity to give our team and our guys the opportunity to succeed and win, you know, I love. And so, you know, that's just always sort of who I am and how I believe. So.